Hey, I'm your host, Jen Wheeler, and this is the Healthy Her podcast. I'm a teacher, author, and foodie who went from being addicted to sugar, skipping meals, and struggling to get in control of my eating to someone who is 10 kilos down, eats all the yummy foods without restriction, and is finally in control of my hunger. I'm obsessed with helping other health conscious women ditch the confusion and overwhelm so they can cultivate healthy eating habits and truly thrive. The Healthy Her podcast was created to give you real talk about healthy eating, as well as easy, actionable tips that fit seamlessly into your busy lifestyle. I'm not just your host, think of me as your healthy eating hype gal, your personal cheerleader as we chat all things healthy eating, weight loss, and mindset mastery, so you can become the healthiest, happiest version of you. So if you're ready to ditch the guilt, reclaim your confidence, and unlock the very best version of you, then you're in the right place. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Healthy Her podcast. In my last episode, I shared with you my personal Healthy Her story, so you can go back and listen to that one at any time. But in today's episode, I wanted to share with you 5 things I wish I had known about healthy eating and weight loss. Because I truly believe as women, there is so much misinformation out there about what we should be doing, the way we should be approaching things. And I really want to narrow those things down so that if you have started on your healthy eating and weight loss journey, or if you're in the middle of it, or if you're finding yourself that you failed and you just want to work out why it's not working, that these are 5 of the things that I wish that someone had told me sooner and explained to me sooner, because I definitely think that it would have changed the way that I was approaching my journey. So let's get stuck into number 1. Number 1 of the 5 things I wish I'd known about healthy eating and weight loss: nutrition is key. You need to know how much food you eat, how many calories you eat, and what your food is made up of. Unfortunately, we do try to burn off the calories that we eat with exercise. Trust me, I've done that before and thought, well, I went and did a half an hour run, so that means I can eat half a packet of Tim Tams. And unfortunately, nutrition doesn't work that way. Our bodies and the amount of calories that we burn during exercise is actually small. And often most of those, when you're at the gym and the equipment will tell you that you burnt 500 calories on the cross trainer, most of those things are incorrect. The majority of our calories are burned during our day, just living and breathing and going about our day to day. So the calories burned from exercise is actually really small. So it's not a good thing to base your nutrition off. Well, I've done this much of a workout, so that means I can eat more calories, because it's most likely why you're not getting your results, because you're not in a calorie deficit. So really, really understanding that mastering your nutrition is key. And then when you master that, then you can add in the exercise and it's like a bonus on top of it. And it's, obviously so good for your mental health and your well-being and everything like that. But to get results, you need to and you must master your nutrition first, because without it, nothing's going to work. And it's also too why you'll often hear women talking about the fact that they will say, but I exercise 5 times a week and I go for walks with the dog every morning and I'm eating healthy, but the weight just won't move. And I'm just not, like, nothing's changing and I'm just not getting results. It's due to a lack of understanding about your nutrition. You can be doing all the exercise, you can be eating all of the healthy food and still not losing weight. And that is because you are not in a calorie deficit. So it's really important to keep in mind that just because you're moving your body or eating healthy, it doesn't mean that you're going to lose weight. Losing weight is a numbers game, and you need to understand those numbers, because what that means is that when you understand nutrition properly, it means that you will know that what you're doing is working, and you'll stop having to guess and Google and try all these different things in the hope that it will work. Okay, number 2 of the 5 things I wish I had known about healthy eating and weight loss. You have to master your mindset around food. Now, you can have the perfect meal plan and the perfect workout schedule and the perfect amount of water being drunk and all of the perfect things. But if you don't deal with your mindset and the things that you believe around food, you will find it very, very difficult to not only reach your goal, but also to maintain your goal when you get there. Now, in my experience from also myself and also the many, many women that I've worked with, we all have belief systems around food. And often, if you ask a woman that, they'll say, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have any. But we do. The problem is that we're just not aware of it. And as soon as you become aware of it, it's easier to make a change. So, what do I mean by a belief around food? So, some really obvious examples that you may have heard of or may have even been guilty of is, sugar is bad for you, or you shouldn't eat carbs after 5 o'clock because it will make you gain weight. Another really common one is if you're having bread, that it's only okay to have one slice and that you shouldn't have two. Now, we are all guilty of these. I am definitely guilty of them. They may not be your food beliefs, but I guarantee that you will have some. And it's these beliefs and things that we think about food that are holding us back because we think that we don't have any, but we actually do. And so that little voice inside our head comes in and says, well, only eat one piece of bread. Or, if you eat pasta, you can't be on a weight loss plan and eat pasta because, that will hinder your results. And it's just not true. Now, how do you deal with those beliefs? You have to become aware of them. As women, so many of the daily habits and the way we eat and all of those things, we just do without even being aware of it. We do it without even thinking. And it's really, really trying to hone in to becoming aware of the things that you do. So another example is if you are someone that comes home from work every day, you kick off your shoes, you sit down on the couch, you watch Netflix, and your habit is to get a block of chocolate and sit on the couch and just eat your way through the chocolate. You're probably not even aware that you're actually doing that. But what you need to become aware of is, are you actually hungry? Are you trying to comfort yourself at the end of the day? Are you just tired and you need a bit of a sugar hit? Most of the time, we're just not aware of the things that we do, and it's affecting our mindset around food. And it does make it very hard to move forward. So it's really, really becoming aware of the things that we do every single day, why we are doing them. Again, same thing. If you're going to the fridge and you're standing there and you're thinking, I'm not really hungry, well, why are you eating then? It's that moment of like a 3-second pause where you just question, why are you doing something? Why am I eating this? Or why have I just done that? And becoming aware of it makes it easy to make changes. Dealing with those beliefs that you have around food is really important, and also becoming aware of your daily habits. And that together will help you to master your mindset around food. Because if you still believe that, eating pasta is bad for you or eating bread for you, you're going to find it very hard to not adopt a perfectionist mindset because you're going to think that, well, I really love pasta and my favorite thing in the whole world is a creamy pasta carbonara. But if your belief around that is that I can never have that, then what's going to happen is you're most likely going to have or order a pasta carbonara, and then you're going to binge eat, on that pasta because you've put that on the naughty list and you've not allowed yourself to eat it. So mastering your mindset around food is really, really important. Okay, number 3 of the 5 things I wish I'd known about healthy eating and weight loss. Number 3, you won't be motivated all the time or need motivation to reach your goals. Okay, that's a 2-part one. So you won't be motivated all the time and you don't need motivation to reach your goals. Even the healthiest, fittest, elite sports people do not feel motivated all the time. I am the first one to jump on my stories on Instagram in my car and tell people that I'm sitting in the car procrastinating because I can't be bothered going into the gym and I really don't feel like it today. But the difference is that I know that I won't feel motivated all the time. But I also know that going into the gym and moving my body and getting some exercise in to start my day is going to make me feel better. It's going to make me a better human. I'm going to be able to handle my day better. I'm going to have more energy. And it's that you step into knowing that when you do these things, it's the best thing for the highest version of yourself. And that's why you start doing them. So if you are thinking that, to get results that you have to feel motivated all the time, you are going to be waiting a long time because no one feels motivated all the time. You just show up on the days that you don't feel like it. And this really cool thing actually happens when you do that is it builds self-confidence and self-trust in yourself. So if every time you don't feel like something, you don't do it, it's like your brain and your body go, well, you know what? She's not really reliable. I can't count on her. Whereas if you show up on the days that you don't want to and you don't feel like it, your body and your brain send a message to you that says, hey, you know what? We can trust her. Like she's pretty self-reliant. And you build that self-confidence and that self-trust in yourself. So if you say you're going to do something, it's really, really important that you keep that promise to yourself and that you do it. Now, the second part of number 3 was that the first part that we talked about, you won't be motivated all the time. And the second part is that you don't need motivation to reach your goals. Mic drop on that one. You don't. Now, I got stuck into this trap too as well. And, you think on a Sunday night, you're like, oh, I'm a bit sick of myself and I just want to make a change and I'm going to sign up for some new plan on Monday and I'm all motivated, I'm pumped. And, Monday and Tuesday I was so good and I ate so well and I went to the gym and I feel amazing. And then 3 or 4 days later, you get given an extra project at work, one of your kids gets sick and things start to fall apart. You lose your motivation. And come usually Friday or Saturday, you're like, yeah, I can't do this perfectly, so I'm just going to give it up and not try. That is why you don't need to feel motivated to do something all the time. But what you do need is to put a system in place to catch you when you fall. From that example that I gave, she decided to start something new, to improve her lifestyle, to change her eating, and she started out really well at the start of the week. Now, what happened halfway through the week is her child got sick and she got given an extra project at work. Now, the problem is that she did not have any systems in place to catch her when she falls. So what I mean by that is a system can be meal prep. So if she had come home from work that night and had nothing prepared and ended up in the drive-through, her system could have been that she meal planned her food or had prepped part of her dinner and it was waiting in the fridge. So it literally would only take her 5 or 10 minutes to throw a healthy meal together. That is a system. It is having something in place to catch you when you fall. But we sort of get stuck in this mindset of, well, I have to feel it all the time. I have to feel motivated and I have to feel good and I have to feel like I want to eat healthy and I have to feel like I want to exercise. You need to get comfortable with knowing that you're just not going to always feel like it, but you still keep doing it because you know it's for your highest good. And that is a really, really important learning stage and part of this whole process of improving your lifestyle and also improving your healthy eating. Okay, number 4 of the 5 things I wish I'd known about healthy eating and weight loss. This is a big one. And it's a big one because I see way too many quit on their healthy eating efforts before it gets really good. They quit too soon. And the reason for this is because, number 4, are you ready to step into a vibrant community of health-conscious women where your journey to helping feel easy begins? Welcome to the Healthy Eating Hype Gal community, your ultimate destination for mastering your relationship with food and embracing a healthy lifestyle. As a busy working mum who's lost 10 kilos, I've been through it all and I understand the struggle. That's why I'm here to teach you the exact steps and tools I use to lose weight, conquer my mindset and thrive, all while juggling the demands of everyday life. Say goodbye to no more confusing fad diets or overwhelming nutrition advice. In this community, I'll guide you through the maze of weight loss and healthy eating and explain it to you in a way that finally makes sense. From easy, family-friendly meal plans to my exclusive calorie deficit quick guide, monthly masterclasses, plus so much more, so you can finally make healthy eating an achievable lifestyle without restriction. It's time to ditch the confusion and overwhelm for good. Join today and kickstart your journey to a healthier, happier you. There's no perfect time to start. Let's make your wellness dreams a reality. Weight loss takes way longer than what we think it will. So, for example, in my case, I thought, okay, I've had a baby, I want to lose some weight, I'm going to lose 10 kilos, right? So you'd think, okay, a kilo a week, 10 weeks, I'm done, I'm good, I'm over, go back to my normal lifestyle. It doesn't work that way. Weight loss is not linear. And what that means is it doesn't go in this beautiful, clear line and pathway. So natural weight loss might look like no weight loss one week. And then it might look like 100 grams the next week. It might look at some 500 grams the next week. It might look like then the next 2 weeks there's no weight loss. And no one told me this. And so, I definitely think that understanding this would have helped me because it just delayed my progress way longer than it needed to. Because every time I would get to a week and nothing happened, I'd go, well, I'm obviously doing something wrong, so I'll just quit and try something else. And in reality, it's just as women that we need to stick with things a bit longer because weight loss takes way longer than what we think it will. And I truly believe that the media is to blame for this one because, we're often sold that weight loss and healthy eating and improving your lifestyle and your habits and things has a timeline. It's 6 weeks, a 4-week shred, an 8-week cut, a lifestyle challenge, all of these things. It shouldn't be a challenge. It should just be something that you ditch the timeline and that you make a long lasting lifestyle change that you can actually maintain. And that is the problem is, we don't see results for a week or two. And so we quit. And then what that actually does is it pulls us right to the very beginning. And then we have to start all over again. Whereas instead, if we just went, oh, hang on a minute, like I know, I remember Jen told me weight loss isn't linear. It's going to take longer than what I thought. And if you ride out those couple of bumpy weeks where nothing's happening, you'll find that the weight loss will start to drop off again. So it's really about understanding that when you go into this and when you decide to make any kind of lifestyle change with your food, that it is going to take a lot longer than what you think. So the best thing that you can do is to ditch the timeline. So don't say, well, I'm going to sign up for this thing and I'm going to lose this weight in 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks. Let it take as long as it needs to take. Because what that means is as you're taking a little bit longer to do it, what you're learning and the habits that you're learning are ones that you are going to be able to maintain for life. That's often the problem, because we do expect it to happen so quick and so fast, is that, yes, you might sign up for something that's 4 weeks or 6 weeks. Yes, you may get results. Yes, you may lose some weight. But the chances of you putting that back on again are actually quite high. And it's because you didn't develop those sustainable, healthy habits along the way. So best advice I can give you is understand that it takes way longer than what you think. Ditch your timeline. So don't say to yourself, well, I'm going to lose this much weight in this much time because 99% of the time it will not happen in that perfect fashion that you'd like it to. And just, like I said, just be kinder to yourself and let it take as long as it needs to take because I promise you, it will be worth it rather than trying to do it in the quickest way possible because you will get so much more out of it and you will also be able to maintain that for the long term. Okay, number 5 of the 5 things I wish I'd known about healthy eating and weight loss. Perfection isn't needed to get you to where you want to go. Now, again, back to these things, we sign up on something new on a Monday and we're super perfect and we're really good at it. And then all of a sudden life gets busy and something happens and things start to fall apart. And so what do? We go, I can't do this properly. I can't do this perfect. So I'm going to quit and I'll start again later. No one, including me and including many, many people that I know have successfully lost weight and been able to maintain it, did not get there by being perfect. You just don't because life isn't perfect. Life throws us stuff and things come up and we have challenges and kids get sick and stuff happens with work or family or friends or things that we literally have to drop what we're doing and deal with at the time. You can't eat perfect all the time. And I think if you accept that, it will completely change the way that you approach healthy eating and weight loss. You need to understand that perfection doesn't exist. If you can do pretty good most of the time, you're going to get the results you want. Majority of people don't get to where they want because they get to a point, whether it's a week or two after into their new lifestyle change, they can't do it perfectly, so they ditch it. They give up and they stop and they ditch it, and then they have to start all over again. So it's really, really important that you just don't need to be perfect to get there. It's just not needed. And something that really helped me, which I hope will, in sharing this, is going to help you too. I became okay with Plan B. And this is something that I teach the women in the Healthy Eating Hype Gal membership. It's this mindset that we have of, okay, it's Monday morning and I've put my gym clothes out and I'm going to wake up at 5 o'clock and I'm going to go to the gym. What happens Sunday night at 2 a.m.? Your child wakes up and they've got a raging temperature and they're sick, and you can't go to the gym early in the morning. So the old version of me would be like, oh, well, look, I'm just not going to do anything then. And because then obviously that snowballs. So it's like, well, because I can't exercise, then I may as well just eat whatever as well too, because that's not going to bother. It's this mindset shift again. So it's going back to that other point of number 2 that I talked about. It's changing your mindset from that perfectionist mindset. So instead of thinking it's going to be perfect, it could be, well, hang on a minute, can't go to the gym at 5 o'clock. What's my plan B? And so a plan B might look like doing a YouTube workout at home. It might be going for a walk with the dog after work. Just because you can't eat perfectly and do the perfect exercise that you planned, it does not mean that you can't do anything. And this is where we get stuck. We can't do it perfectly, so we switch our mindsets to doing nothing at all. And let me tell you, you will get to where you want to go if you can change the way that you see things, if you can be okay with plan B. So, like I said, in the membership, we talk about, okay, well, this couldn't happen. So, what did you do instead? And I love seeing the women's posts in our Facebook group because it's, well, this happened to me today, this happened to me today, this happened to me today. And then the next part that they write is, but I've done this, done this, and I've done this to set myself up for success for tomorrow. Being okay with not being perfect and your plan B being enough will move you forward. It will move the needle. We get stuck because we want it to be perfect and then we just don't do anything at all. And then we have to start all over again. So really, really focus on ditching the perfection and just going, you know what? I can still do something. You always get a choice. Okay. If everything falls apart in your day, you always get a choice. Always, always, always. There's always a plan B, plan C, plan D, even plan E if you need to get to that point. If your day is that bad, there is always a plan E. So just fix that mindset and get out of that focus that everything that you do needs to be perfect. Now, I hope that you found today's episode super helpful. Don't forget, you can jump over to my website and download your free healthy eating and weight loss essentials kit. It's got loads of my most popular free recipes that you can try in there. It's also got some like no prep meal ideas, on those days when you are super time poor and you just need to pull something together in a hurry. It's a great one to get started with and to give you some new inspiration to eat healthy and to take care of yourself. So just before I wrap up this episode, I'm going to quickly recap those 5 things that I wish I'd known about healthy eating and weight loss. Number 1, nutrition is key. You can't burn off the food that you eat. It just won't happen. So please stop trying. Please stop spending hours in the gym because you are honestly just wasting your time. Invest the time to learn about how much food you eat, how many calories you eat, what your food is made up of. The information that you gain from that will be invaluable and it will set you up for life. Number 2, you have to master your mindset. So you might need to get a piece of paper and write down all of the things that you believe about food and then screw it up and throw it in the bin because, even if you're listening to this and you're thinking, oh, but Jen, I don't really have any of those, I can guarantee you that you do. It's just that you're not aware of them yet. So really, really focusing in on becoming aware of the things you do and mastering your mindset around food and the things that you believe. Number 3, you won't be motivated all the time. You don't need motivation to reach your goals. You just need to have organization and systems to catch you on the days that you fall. That's all you need. So, if you're having a day and everything falls apart and you just couldn't eat healthy, ask yourself, hang on a minute, what can I do to change this for tomorrow? What can I put in place to catch me when I fall and to make sure that I can have healthy eating success? Number 4, it takes way longer than what we think. So if you're setting yourself some crazy timeline, double it, triple it. It's going to take way longer than you think. And that doesn't mean, no, it's not achievable. It just means it's going to take longer than you think. You can't do it in a short amount of time. It does take a lot longer than what we think. Number 5, perfection isn't needed to get you to where you want to go. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up and do something. And it was back to talking about that, not being perfect. And if your perfect plan doesn't go then doesn't work, then go to plan B or plan C or plan D or plan E. You always get a choice. It doesn't have to be, I have to do this perfectly or I don't do it at all. There is another way of approaching it, because really the secret to long-term, lasting, healthy eating success isn't perfection. It's learning how to integrate healthy eating lifestyle into your normal busy lifestyle. That's the secret to success, because your life is never going to be perfect. Your days are never going to be perfect. Your week is never going to run perfectly, because it's not real life. And it's learning how to catch ourselves when we fall, how to set ourselves up for success, and just to do things to make it easier for ourselves. We do not need to be perfect. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. I absolutely loved sharing these 5 tips with you because, like I said, wish someone had told me these things sooner. And I hope that they have really given you something to think about, whether you're starting a journey, in the middle of a journey, thinking about giving up on your journey. And I hope that one of these 5 things has really resonated with you and that you can take it with you into your new week. Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the Healthy Her podcast. If you enjoyed today's chat and found it helpful, hitting that follow or subscribe button would be amazing, because your support means the world to me. Come connect with me on Instagram @theactivebod for your daily dose of inspiration and for loads of new easy meal ideas. Take care and keep thriving. See you next week.